This is George with the Harmony Trading System coming to you on Monday, July the 11th. And we're going to do our, morning end of day live stream recap. Ultimately, today we made a little bit of money, about $390. We kind of were very careful, kind of starting off on Monday. We had a sell-off early in the morning. We took a bit of a look at that one, waited for some stability price action. We went long on a couple of spots, ended up making some money. So without due wait, let's see the action. And it started off with that sell-off. The market on the 200 NT Rinko and the 100 NT Rinko were a short. However, we saw a higher low here and we picked off a one contract test. And let's put it this way, that test did not work out too well. So we ended up actually taking a one contract for the full stop, and that was a negative $500 on that one. And we're moving on to the next trade. We saw a captain setup switch trade, which is very strong buy signal. And we ended up getting involved in it, 3 contracts, and we sold off into the momentum. And actually that trade gave us a nice little profit. We ended up about 380 so far. Here we go. Moving on to the next trade. There you go. And the market was showing a bit of a bid, and we took the 20 NT Rinko trade into a 10-point profit on one contract, made a couple of $100. So we're now up over 500. Ultimately, we faded. We kind of faded against this because we're at a level that kind of needed to hold. And let's take a look on the next trade that we're about to see here in a minute. Yeah, the overwhelming test. There you go. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of noise in and around this area. And ultimately the market was just not showing. Here we go. We took a nice profit there. Here we go. Boom. And there was a manual error by my part on my entry. I actually got in correctly long, and then I ended up pushing the overselling basically, and I ended up selling 5 more contracts, and I covered for a small stop. Now this is the last trade, and that one was a bit wonky, but the expectation here is to see a continuation, and ultimately it did happen, but it happened after pushing down, significantly, past my, my willingness to risk any more capital. And you'll see it here in a minute. I mean, I was up about 10 points. I was hoping to buy some more and look for a 70 and an 80 to 90 level. And ultimately, if you look at the price action, it did actually happen. So we ended up picking off one, added another one, and here go a 3, 4, and a 5th. Once we got here, I looked for a rally and I pieced out a bunch of them. It gave me a profit multiple times during this trade, but again, I was accumulating for a big run, and that big run eventually did happen, but we ended up taking a small stop on that whole accumulation of position here. So we took out some and added It wanted to go, I think from top to bottom, this thing ended up selling off about 55 points. And I don't want to sit through a stop that looks that big. So I recognize that the market is not behaving in a continuation pattern. And my accumulation, I ended up piecing out and I left one contract for the hope that it will consolidate and give us a big push, but it didn't happen. So I ended up taking an additional profit off of that. And we ended up, I think ultimately on that whole sequence of 5 contracts, giving away about $190 or less than $200 basically, which is not too bad. We went break even at this point. Yeah, so sometimes price action will spend a little bit of time before it gathers enough energy to make a move. And that's what ultimately happened in this rotation. And here we go. That's it. 390 for the day. And I pretty much took it easy after that. I didn't see anything that's worth jumping into 11 o'clock lunch hour. And we called it a day. It's a positive day. It's not a big day, but I didn't take too much risk in this market either, the way it's looking. You guys have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.